Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, second year. Welcome to App6 online sport program. This is your English teacher, Ms. Sayyida Rubana. This is week 1. The contents of today's lecture are types of sentences, comprehension and fussy writing skill, phrasal verbs and idioms, and the written tasks will be assigned to you. As in the previous lecture, we have already done the kinds of sentences according to the function. Today we are going to do the kinds of sentences according to the structure. For this, first of all, we have to see what a sentence and what a clause is. Let's start with a sentence. Sentence is a set of words that is complete in itself, typically containing a subject and a predicate, conveying a statement, question, exclamation, or a command, and consisting of a main clause or sometimes one or more subordinate clauses. So let's see what is a clause. A clause is a group of related words which has a subject and a verb. A clause can function as a sentence by itself as a part of a sentence. For example, they play under the rain. So, in this sentence, we have a subject and a verb. I like mangoes. So, it's a clause. Here are two types of clauses. Independent clause is also known as main clause, and dependent clause, that is subordinate clause. Let's start with the independent clause. A group of words that can stand on its own as a sentence. It has a subject and a verb and is a complete thought. Main clause can also be called an independent clause. Means it can stand alone, it can give you a complete sense. They danced under the rain. Where is your sister? Osama defeated the enemy. All these sentences are conveying a whole sense. Second one is dependent clause. Now, dependent clause or a subordinate clause is a group of words that contains a subject and a verb, but it does not express a complete thought. It cannot be a complete sentence. It means it doesn't convey you a whole sense. For example, because Mary arrived at the bus station before noon. So, in this sentence, you can see that the meaning is incomplete. While he waited at the train station, after they left on the bus, because he woke up late in the morning. Now, let's start with the types of sentences according to the structure, as the clauses are clear. Types of sentences: simple sentences, compound sentences, complex sentences, and compound complex sentences. First of all, simple sentence. A sentence consisting of only one clause with a single subject and a predicate. It means it's a simple one in which we have only one clause and subject and a verb. A simple sentence can also be referred to as an independent clause. It is referred to as an independent clause because it might be a part of a compound or a complex sentence, but it can also stand by itself as a complete sentence. For example, Sana is a student. She lives in a big city. Then comes the compound sentence. As a compound shows, it's a combination. Compound sentence refers to a sentence made up of two independent clauses or complete sentences connected to one another with a coordinate conjunction. So, coordinate conjunctions are used. In compound sentences, we can identify with the help of a coordinate conjunction that the sentence is a compound sentence. Coordinate conjunctions you can easily learn through an acronym FANBOYS. These are F for A for and, N for nor, B for but, O for or, Y for yet, and S for so. So for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so, all are the coordinate conjunctions. You can easily find out the sentences, compound sentences, with the help of these FANBOYS acronyms of the coordinate conjunctions. For example, I waited for the train, but the train was late. But is a conjunction, coordinate conjunction used here in combining these two sentences. So this is compound sentence. Mary arrived at the bus station before noon and she left on the bus before I arrived. And is used as the coordinate conjunction over here. Next is the complex sentence. A complex sentence is made up of an independent clause and one or more dependent clauses connected to it. A dependent clause is similar to an independent clause or complete sense, but it lacks one of the elements that would make it a complete sentence. When the dependent clause comes first, a comma should be used to separate the two clauses. For example, because Mary and Sonia arrived at the bus station before noon, I did not see them at the station. So, because is the subordinate conjunction and these two sentences are joined by the comma. While he waited at the train station, John realized that the train was late. Here, John realized that the train was late is the independent part, and while he waited at the train station is the dependent part. Now comes the compound complex sentence. A sentence consisting of at least one dependent clause and at least two independent clauses may be called a complex compound sentence or a compound complex sentence. It's a combination of compound and complex sentence. When my boss yelled at me, I got angry, so I quit because I was hurt. She had a nightmare, so my daughter woke me up when I was sleeping. So these are the examples of compound complex sentences. Now here is the written task or activity for you. First of all, you have to take a chart paper and divide it into 4 horizontal sections. In the top section, write at least 5 sentences of simple sentence. Then, in the second row, chain these 5 sentences into compound sentences. And similarly, convert the same sentences into complex and complex compound sentences. Thank you.